3.
Everybody, rock your body. Everybody, rock your body right. GeekCap breath, alright. Livitski, a.k.a. Tridon, and welcome back to a very special episode of hidefninja presents the GeekCap. Now, why is it special? Well, let's see. It's October. It's that scary season of the year. Oh, what? Is a Halloween special? Yeah, let's do it. But first, I am not doing this by myself. No, I'm not doing this by myself today. Today, I've invited some friends, some fellow ninjas in on a conversation. Now, it's not really a conversation because they're not in the room with me. They're not here right now, or there, or up there. They're not in the room. So it's not a one-on-one, a face-to-face conversation. But I threw out 5 very specific questions to a group of 5 of my favorite ninjas, and I got answers in response. So today, for the first time ever in GeekCap history, we're going to have special appearances by the one and the only Blood Snake 007, Jaws Finatic, Flloydo, Wreck, and last but not least, my fellow Canadian buddy, Ha. That's right, this is a very, very exciting episode today because today we're going to be talking Halloween. Today we're going to be talking horror. Horror movies that we love. Horror movies that are underrated. Horror movies that you should absolutely watch. In return, we want to know down below what horror movies you love. Do you get anything for telling us what movies you love? I don't know. You might. You'll have to keep watching, or maybe, I don't know, a certain announcement somewhere throughout this video by Wreck. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, ninjas. I am so excited. I am so pumped to be back here in my room that I'm always in. So, I mean, it's not that exciting. However, you're not always watching me while I'm in this room, so there's that. And I kicked off a beautiful rendition of Backstreet's Back, All Right, at the beginning of this, because why? What's that got to do with Halloween? Well, A, it's an awful song. B, it's horrifying that I'm singing it. So yeah, it's scary as all hell. And you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad I could give that to you. Maybe before this wraps today, we'll, I don't know, return to that wonderful moment. What do you think, Jake? Mr. Snellygoster up in the sky, are you watching? You see what I am doing here today? You sense it with all your great power. Are you with me? You gonna do some Backstreet's Back? I know you are. I know you are. Alrighty, so here on my handy little laptop, we're going to pull up some stuff because my memory doesn't work as well as it used to. The first question on the list is, what's your favorite horror film and why? I'll get to mine in a moment, but first, let's head on over to those 5 wonderful ninjas I said we're going to be here at the beginning. And a disclaimer, that does include the always R-rated Blood Snake 007. Let's see what they have to say.
Come on, Ken. You know I was going to start the video this way. Hey everybody, Frankie, Blood Snake 007, representing HDN. I had to write these down. If I didn't, I fucking forget. Look how long it took me to send this video in. Did you expect me to send it earlier? Fucking Mexican, what do you expect? So I'm gonna group together questions number 1 and 3. It's my favorite horror film and it's the earliest memory. It's The Exorcist. The reason why I got into horror is because of my mom. She was a huge fan. My mom was awesome.
Okay, so I'm sure to no one's surprise, my favorite horror movie of all time would be Jaws. Now I can hear some people saying, that's not really a horror movie because that's a shark. That's not really a monster, which I guess I can concur with unless one has bitten off one of my limbs. But okay, so that doesn't work. Then I guess my fallback would be John Carpenter's The Thing. And yet I still hear people saying, but that's a sci-fi movie. So if you're really going to nail it down, and it can't be an aquatic beast, and it can't be something from outer space, then I have to go with Frankenstein from 1931, starring the great Boris Karloff and Dwight Frye.
Hello, Flloydo here from hidefninja.
Just want to say thank you to Ken, Tridon, for allowing us and some other ninjas to get involved with this, as we all love horror. So my favourite horror film, I have a lot of favourite horror films. Some honourable mentions would be American Werewolf in London, Jeepers Creepers, It Follows, Death Proof, From Dusk Till Dawn, Alien, the original Halloween, Kill List, little British independent horror, love Paranormal Activity, Black Swan, Cabin Fever, got a lot of love for that, not many people do. Shaun the Dead, The Shining, Cabin in the Woods, End of Days, rare to get an Arnie horror film, but amazing. Event Horizon, Let Me In and Let the Right One In. But my all-time favourite horror film is this bad boy, The Thing. I adore this film. I absolutely love this film. So many reasons. John Carpenter smashes it, gets the atmosphere perfect. A huge Kurt Russell fan. Great score by Eno. Eno, how do you say his name? It's just, I just love it. I love the location, the set, the use of like special effects is perfect in it, and yeah, I just love it. I absolutely love it. Greedy is the man. But yeah, I live for The Thing. Great name, eerie, atmospheric. I'm usually more of a fan of psychological horrors, paranormal when done well. I like creature features, monsters, and sci-fi horror. And not only is The Thing like the greatest sci-fi horror, Event Horizon's a good one. It's messed up. It's a good one, but The Thing just ticks all the boxes. Absolutely love that film. It's perfect.
What up, Tridon? For the Halloween GeekCap special, you've asked us all to answer some movie questions, and I'm gonna do that. But before I do that, I wanna send a special shout out to a pin maker by our beloved ninja spawn shop, Wooden Indian Novelties. You can check them out on Etsy. Make some really cool stuff. And every last one of these pins we are giving away. So if you want these, all you have to do in the comment section is reply with what my favorite horror icon is, which you're about to find out. All right, jumping right into it. What is my favorite horror film and why? I don't really have a complete, just absolute favorite horror film. I'd say some of my favorites almost are like even borderline horror. Some will consider it, some won't. Straight up would be Jaws. Always loved Jaws, so I'm guessing that some people do consider this horror. Definitely with the score. The Thing, always been a classic. I feel like it's one that's actually dated very well, so you can watch this if you didn't grow up with this and still find a lot of good in it. And then the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, definitely my favorite. Believe it or not, I kind of lean a little bit more to the remake.
Okay, my favorite horror film, I'm gonna go with The Others. It is a fantastic film with a brilliant performance by Nicole Kidman, and I remember the first time I saw it, that ending just blew my mind. So yeah, The Others.
All right, thanks, guys. That was great. That was great. I'll pretend that you were here just now and told me that in person, and it's not so lonely here. About yourself. But what is my favorite horror film and why? Well, let's just turn around this way and go like this. John Carpenter's Halloween, 1978. This is the 4K version, which I have watched, and ooh, it looks and sounds so good. But why is this my favorite horror movie? Well, story, acting, atmosphere, setting, music, iconic horror bad guy himself, Michael Myers, a.k.a. The Sheep, Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasance, a great script by Deborah Hill and John Carpenter.
Direction by John Carpenter.
A little cameo appearance by The Thing from Another World, which funny enough, just a few years later, John Carpenter would do the remake of The Thing, 7 deaths altogether. Yes, John Carpenter's Halloween is a masterpiece. It is one of the best movies ever made, not just one of the best horror movies ever made. When I say one of the best horror movies ever made, I do mean the best. All right, let's move on. Let's see. Number 2 on the list is, which horror icon is the best?
Question number 2, best horror icon. I say Willy Wonka. This son of a bitch right here. He is crazy. Look at those little innocent bastards eating that. Fuck them, they deserved it.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
For what horror icon would I consider the greatest? It would have to be the Frankenstein monster. Because, hey, anytime you go into a graveyard, dig up old bodies, cut the pieces off, and sew them back together in a disproportionate way, and have a flat-headed monster that walks around, can hardly speak, and yet terrorizes the countryside, it would have to be the Frankenstein monster. Now, I'll throw in the little caveat that you have to feel sorry for the Frankenstein monster, because in the movie Frankenstein, he's actually pretty docile until the evil human element convinces him that he needs to survive and save his life, because now they want to kill him. And hey, what living creature wants to allow anything to kill it? I don't think any. So, Frankenstein monster.
So I think the biggest horror icon out there, there's a few classics, Freddy, Jason Voorhees, but I think Michael Myers is the most iconic, you know. Just, I don't know, just something about him, the look, freaky mask, a lot of Halloween films, not all of them great. But yeah, I think he's the most iconic.
Which horror icon is the best? Leatherface?
Okay, the best horror icon is probably Michael Myers, but I gotta say my favorite is Ghostface from the Scream movies. Yeah, it's just so creepy and just like, yeah, I love it.
Which horror movie icon is the best? I think I kind of already said it with my first one, Michael Myers. But, you know, to switch things up, which horror icon is the best? I don't know, there are so many. You got your list of Jason, Freddy, and Chucky, and Leatherface, and Pennywise.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have Prince Albert in a can? You do? Well, you better let the poor guy out.
Those creepy creatures from the Thing that I was talking about a few moments ago. That Sam from Trick or Treat. Those little underground dweller weirdos from The Descent. You know what? Let's just switch it up completely and let's do a little bit of horror comedy. Say that, I don't know, best horror icon of all time is the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I don't know why I would say that. It's not like I like the Ghostbusters or anything.
Oh no, mother puss bucket. Nobody steps on a church in my town.
Isn't that right, Venkman? All right, question number 3 on the list. Now, this is a strange one because originally I asked one question, and that question is best final girl. One of the ninjas that decided to take part in this horror episode didn't know what a final girl was. I'm not going to name who that would be, but I will say that if one of the 5 gentlemen coming up here, the ninjas, one of them say their favorite final girl, that's cool, we'll let it fly. However, most of their answers, and I'm guessing all of the answers, will be the question, what's the earliest horror film that you remember watching? Because that is the question I'm replaced with, your favorite final girl. So yeah, let's you know what, let's just go ahead and guys, what's the earliest horror movie you remember watching?
So I'm gonna group together questions number 1 and 3. It's my favorite horror film and it's the earliest memory. It's The Exorcist. The reason why I got into horror is because of my mom. She was a huge fan. My mom was awesome.
What was the first horror movie that I remember watching? I go back and forth on this, but I really think it was back in the 60s, and it was Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, starring Lon Chaney Jr. and Bela Lugosi. It was on Creature Feature. I'm almost positive that it was Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. And I was off to my Universal Horror Brigade extravaganza. Thank you very much.
The first horror movie I ever see, it's one of 3 or 4. I actually can't remember. It's when my mum and dad split up. My dad, when he moved out, just like when I could see him just watch horrors. I was so young. But then there are other times I remember catching them late on TV. I think Alien I might have seen on TV when I was younger, but I don't know if that was the first. I've got a feeling it's between Alien, American Werewolf in London, another one of my favourites, and Alien, of course. It might have been the Ghoulies. Weird little critter things that come out the toilet. I remember my dad playing with that. But admittedly, nothing freaked me out when I was a kid until I seen Neverending Story. The wolf at the end, that was it. I had nightmares. I was so young when I see this. The wolf just messed me up. And like I said in the other part, nothing's really freaked me out until when I was about 23 and I watched Paranormal Activity. It just freaked me out.
Please.
I don't know. I can watch it on my own now, but it just messed me up. But yeah, I think the first ones were Ghoulies, Alien, American Werewolf in London.
What is the earliest horror film that you remember watching? I didn't really grow up on a lot of horror, so I would probably say Jaws, you know? Kind of freaked me out, definitely getting in the ocean, etc. Especially being by the ocean in Houston.
For best final girl, I'm gonna go with Ripley from Alien and Aliens, but not Alien 3.
Whoa! Mind blown! Ka wins the Final Girl Award. Not because you are a final girl, because you're the only one that gave the answer to who's the best final girl. So in a moment, I will get to what my earliest horror movie was that I watched. However, I don't want Ka to be alone, so best final girl in my opinion, Ripley. It's gotta be Ripley, right, from Alien? And a special shout out to Neve Campbell as Cindy Prescott in the Scream series because I love those movies. My earliest horror movie that I remember watching, you know what, there's a few. Jaws would definitely be one of them because Jaws is a film that my father brought home to scare me and my siblings to death. It was horrifying. I've never been in an ocean because of Jaws. In fact, we lived in the country and under our home was a well. We had water coming from the well. For 2 weeks straight, I couldn't sleep because I was in the basement. I kept thinking that a giant shark was going to come through my bedroom floor from the well and eat me out of my bed. So yeah, Jaws. Jaws definitely scared the heck out. Other than that, Gremlins, because Gremlins was horrifying. My nanny, my grandmother, rented me Gremlins to watch with me because Gizmo looked adorable. And halfway through, my life was scarred forever. What are they? And last but not least, The Blob, the remake of The Blob from 1988. The Blob is horrifying. The Blob is this giant pink jelly monster that can go on the wall or on the ceiling or come out of a drain, attack you while you're in a phone booth. It can happen anywhere, and it's disgusting. And my buddy Chris and I watched this movie. Lots of great memories attached to this. I ate a pizza pop and then watched this, and then I was up all night sick from either the pizza pop or thinking the Blob was going to kill me. So, yes, the Blob remake from director Chuck Russell is horrifying, and those would be the 3 earliest horror films that I remember watching. How about you? All right, question number 4 on the list. Favorite horror film from the past 10 years. Now, for those that don't know math too well, it is 2019, so I'm talking 2009 to now. Take it away, guys. What's your favorite horror movie from the last decade?
Question number 4. Favorite horror in the past. Can't even read my fucking handwriting. The favorite film in the past 10 years is the Evil Dead remake. I really enjoyed that film. I thought that movie was awesome, especially the unrated edition. Question number 5, especially when she fucking with the fucking razor blade, that was his shit.
Okay, so favorite horror movie in the last 10 years? That is an easy one. It would have to be Let Me In. I just love that movie. I never get tired of it. It's become a Halloween favorite. And I even find myself watching it when it's not the Halloween season. So for me, it would be Let Me In.
So my favourite horror film in the last 10 years, there's been quite a few. So my honourable mentions would be As Above, So Below, Don't Breathe, 10 Cloverfield Lane, Conjuring, Black Swan, Cabin in the Woods, Neon Demon, Let Me In, A Quiet Place, Us, The Ritual, Overlord, Oculus. But my all-time favourite in the past 10 years is It Follows. I absolutely adore this film. Absolutely perfect. The score's perfect. It's done by the Danger Picks, I believe. So they've got that eerie kind of 80s synth feel to it, a little bit like John Carpenter style. I love the idea behind it. The fact that this thing just follows you at walking pace and then just mutilates you. And that you have to have sex with someone to pass it on. I just love the idea. Leading girl, first time I ever see her, is it Micah? She's great in it. The use of special effects is just top notch. Yeah, it's just a great little film. Perfect. I know a lot of people complain about the ending. I didn't think it was too bad. But yeah, brilliant film.
Favorite horror film from the past 10 years? That was a pretty hard one. I even threw in a classic that's a lot older, but it's because I only discovered it in the last 10 years, and that is Suspiria. It's just a true experience with the score. The soundtrack's amazing. Kind of reminds me of like the horror version of Drive, you know? Like the soundtrack is just as much better than almost better than the movie, but that might be blasphemy to some. So, recent ones though, I will say, most recent, probably Hereditary. This will make you want to take a bath and pray after you watch this movie. It's pretty bad. And this one's definitely will freak you out, and that's The Conjuring.
My favorite horror film of the last 10 years. You know what? There's a lot of good ones. I really loved ones like Cabin in the Woods or Happy Death Day. But I gotta go with A Quiet Place. That movie was one of the top 10 movies for me of the year last year. And it's just such a fantastic film. It's so good.
My favorite horror film from the last decade. Honestly, I don't know. There's so many fantastic horror films from this last decade. Like, a crazy amount. There's so many original, really great psychological horror films. I'm talking Babadook. I'm talking The Follows. I'm talking Hereditary. I'm talking Starry Eyes, Spring. I'm talking The Witch. The list goes on and on and on. Now, personally, I would love to say Trick or Treat, because that is now my second favorite horror film of all time. But I do believe that Trick or Treat was 2007. So if that is the case, then I can't say Trick or Treat now, can I? Trick or Treat was, in fact, 2007. That's not. So I can't say Trick or Treat. This is a great film. So you know what? Again, like I did with Ghostbusters, let's switch things up a bit. Continue on past Trick or Treat and hit up a movie that comes right after it in my alphabetical order movie series behind me right here. Ladies and gentlemen, Troll Hunter. Troll Hunter came out in 2011 and is directed by Andre Obradal. I'm probably not pronouncing that name correctly, but he is a Norwegian director who is absolutely fantastic. That's this film right here. He's done the autopsy of Jane Doe in this year's Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark that was written by Guillermo del Toro. He's a great director. I think he's got a huge, awesome future ahead of him in horror and sci-fi, basically just anything he wants to do. Troll Hunter right here is one of the greatest creature features I have ever seen. The acting is really solid. There's no one in here that I recognize. A Norwegian crowd may recognize someone from this film. But to me, I haven't seen any of these actors in any other film ever. Visual effects and the creature designs of the trolls in this film is just mind-boggling. I love this film so much that I got a one-of-a-kind poster in New New York Comic Con in 2011. I carried it through a crowd of so many people. Went to a FedEx in New York City. I shipped it home to myself here in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. Now it's hanging on my wall out there. It's amazing. It's autographed by Andre. It's autographed by James Stocco, the artist of the poster. Not only that, I have bought so many copies of this movie. In fact, this copy right here includes the slipcover from the Canadian edition, the Amaray case from the US edition, a yellow case that I bought off a movie from France. I paid $30 to get just this yellow case to put it on here. And then when you pop this baby open, you get this survival guide. It came with the HMV exclusively in the UK. Yes, there is 4 different editions keeping this one together. Troll Hunter is amazing. I love it. If you haven't seen it, it's totally underrated. You definitely must watch it. It's so good. I cannot recommend this movie enough. Now, moving on, what's your most underrated scary movie that everybody needs to see? Of course, I kind of just said mine a moment ago, but well, I think about what else I can say that I recommend. So many. Let's check in with the guys, the other ninjas, and see what they have to say.
Number 5, underrated scary film to watch. I recommend Veronica. I watched it on Netflix. If you enjoy Insidious, The Conjuring, those type of films, check that one out. It's good.
And I don't know that I know of a horror film that I think is underrated that people probably haven't seen. I do love I Spit on Your Grave, but I don't know if that's considered a horror movie. I will say that the original Nightmare on Elm Street, I don't think gets nearly the amount of love and respect that it deserves for how creepy and scary it was when it came out decades ago. But so I guess that would be my selection.
So I think there's a lot of horror that's underrated. Again, I haven't got like one answer for this. A lot of honourable mentions. I think Paranormal Activity is hugely underrated. I know it did well, but I think, like for instance, my group of friends, none of them like it, whereas it's the first film that freaked me out in about 20 years when I first watched that. I think it's the realism of the found footage. I just thought it was made well. I do find it underrated, and I know it spawned a series, but I still consider it underrated. Just going from who I know that likes it. Pandorum, really good little horror. It's quite underrated. Not many people know about that one. The Ritual on Netflix, British one, brilliant. Every time I talk to someone about it, I've never heard of it, so brilliant, underrated film. Strangers 2, I didn't like the first one, but I think Strangers 2 is actually a decent little slasher film, and again, underrated. And The Invitation's a good, decent little film, but the 4 underrated films, I think. Jennifer's Body, really good, decent. I know a lot of people hate on Megan Fox, but she was perfect in it. Hot. Creep, old British, possibly German, British and German film. I know the lead actress is German. Quite old now, but really good little creature horror film in the London Underground. Freaky. As Above, So Below, I've mentioned it a few times in this. Love this film. I love found footage when it's done well, because that's when I find it quite real in that sense, when it's done well. But yeah, and I just got a lot of love for this film, Cabin Fever. Nobody I know likes it, but I love this film. I think it's a perfect blend of messed up horror, comedy, just weird. Yeah, I just think I think it was Eli Roth's first film on it. I think he just smashed it with Cabin Fever. The others are rubbish, and the remake was pointless, but I love Cabin Fever. So yeah, that'd probably be my most underrated, actually, Cabin Fever.
What is my most underrated scary movie that everyone needs to see? Let's see here. I don't know about most underrated, but definitely a hidden gem. Pretty underrated, pretty cheap. The sequel bombed, but the original, Stakeland, is worth seeing. You need to check it out. It's a cheapie. Get it. Watch it.
For an underrated scary movie that everyone needs to see, is actually a film that I recently saw just a few months ago myself, but I thought it was brilliant, was a film called The Invitation. I honestly don't want to say too much about it because it's better not knowing anything going in. So just check it out. I think it's on Netflix. Watch it. It's great.
Everybody, this was fun. Really enjoyed, doing this video. Hopefully it doesn't get cut out like Rec always cuts out my guest appearances on the podcast. I guess I'm the fucking Matt Damon of HDN. Take care, guys. Love you. High five.
Well, appreciate you for including me in this Halloween special GeekCap. Take it away.
All right, guys, thank you very much. I'm a little warm in here. Let's just unzip this and the Black Label, the hidefninja horror series of Steelbooks. Are you one of the ones lucky enough to own a copy of Tenebrae or Suspiria or Phenomenon? If so, mention it down below. Okay, so anyways, most underrated scary movie that everybody needs to watch. I've said a bunch now. I've said a bunch, but most recently would probably be this one right here, Starry Eyes. Starry Eyes is a psychological horror film. I think I mentioned it earlier in the video already, but this movie is really, really good. It's really creepy. It's slow moving. I mean, it's a slow burn. You really have to pay attention to it. It's not scary. There's no jump scares, but it's almost disturbing and creepy the way it goes. Alexandra Esso, she stars in this. She's the main character in this. Character named Sarah. Sarah is a young actress in Hollywood trying to get started. She's not having very good luck because it's Hollywood and there's a million actresses out there, and some of them are doing some things to get ahead that other actresses may not be willing to do. Basically, the Sarah that everyone knows begins to decay away, and a new birth happens on screen. It's horrifying. It's horrifying. I don't want to give anything else away. You should definitely check this out if you haven't watched this one already. Starry Eyes, great film. All right, everyone, that is it. That is all 5 questions. I want to thank everybody that chimed in. I want to thank Rec, Let's Snake 007, Jaws Finatic, Flloydo, and Ka. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you, Flloydo, for keeping it pretty PG rated. And thank you, Bloodsnake 007, for just not. All right, everyone, that is it for our special Halloween episode. But since I'm here right now, the GeekCap, a special Halloween episode. I haven't been here for the GeekCap in months now. Being that this is Halloween related, I want to bring down the mood for a moment. I want to bring everything down. This right now, this platform is where I need to do this. In 2011, I wrote and produced a horror movie called Quiver. Now, a lot of ninjas out there will know of Quiver because I talked about it for years. It exists. It was shot and it was fantastic. There's a couple trailers out there. Here's the thing. For everyone that has supported me with Quiver since 2011, actually 2009 is when I started writing it. But for everyone that has stuck by me and believed in me for the last decade, believing in that project, I want to thank you. I want to send a huge thanks to Rec and Andy, AP Smith, and John. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you, Jake. You guys put together this awesome poster, this little card. You gave it away at the second MonoCon, the first one hidefninja was at. You gave it away to people buying horror movies, and it was really cool. It was amazing. It was so well done. It was so appreciated. I can never, ever, ever repay you guys for that. But the fact of the matter is this. I created a film, and I let my friend shoot it through his company. And in so, I gave away the rights of my film 100% completely. This day, as far as I know, and I don't 100% know, film Quiver is in Vancouver in post-production. Still, to this day, visual artists are working on it, trying to bring the ticks to life. The ticks are obviously, they're the creatures in the film in Quiver. And they're all CGI, so we got visual artists trying to work on those. But the fact of the matter is, Trevor has the film and is still not done. I don't know if it's going to ever be done. But that experience was the best experience of my life. And that experience, because of what has happened to it, it broke me for many years. It broke me. I lost all drive to create. Now, before that, I had done 2 screenplays. I haven't completed a screenplay 100% since. It really did break me. However, my medicine, my bandage to help me through years of hard times was and still is High Def Ninja. John, Andy, you guys gave me a home at High Def Ninja. You gave me a community of friends and family and people that I love to this day. You gave me an editor-in-chief position after seeing some of my writing over on a blog that I was working on. I was editor-in-chief for years. I've been to MondoCon, 3 times? In Austin, Texas, and it was the best time of my life. You gave me this right here, the GeekCap, and well, time permitting, it's not continuing as often as I wanted to continue. Right here is a Halloween special, and I thought this was the perfect opportunity today to address Quiver, to address all of you that have supported me, to address the cast, the crew. I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. You gave me the greatest gift, and that was the gift to create and bring something to life. Unfortunately, I have not been able to share that gift with all of you, but I hope that one day it will happen. I don't mean to be someone that breaks promises. I got a lot of ideas running through this mind, and I don't have the drive or the time often to put these thoughts on paper and bring them to life. But I'm telling you right now that I'm really going to try. 2020 on. Keep an eye out for Ken Livitski, because you only get one life. And if you have a dream, you have to see it through. If Quiver comes to fruition and exists, you will be the first people that I tell about it. 100%. Love you all so much. Thank you. Thank you. Let's bring this thing back up again, Jake, before I start crying. This is supposed to be a horror episode. This is all kinds of different scary right now. This is not what the people are here for. If you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you enjoyed this episode, comment down below. Let us know. Comment down below and throw your answers out for Rec too. Who, if you were watching all the way through, there's a giveaway happening. There's a giveaway, and it's pretty damn cool. As usual, go check out the forum. Go check out the message boards. Take a look at all the awesome Steelbooks coming out. There's a lot of really great looking Steelbooks coming out, and a lot of great horror Steelbooks coming out. It's about time horror is shown the recognition from the premium community, and I'm happy that it's finally happening. Ninjas, I'm Ken Livitski, a.k.a. Tridon. Maybe I'll see you at Christmas time during the holidays. But as for now, this has been High Def Ninja Presents the GeekCap. Let's do this, Jake. Oh my God, Ken's back again. Brothers, sisters, all ninjas sing. Ken brought the flavor to show you how. That's gross sounding. I've got a question for y'all. You better answer now. Is Ken original? I like to think so. Is he the only one? I'm pretty sure he is. Is he sexual? You don't even want to know. Is he everything you need? You better rock your body now. Everybody, yeah. Rock your body, yeah. Everybody, rock your body right. Because the GeekCap, because the GeekCap, because the GeekCap's back alright. Yeah! Yeah, I think I'm done talking in the third person now. Yeah, for a while anyways. For a while. I don't know, talking in the third person, you know, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm somebody. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna go this way. See ya.